to do the entire trail.
Ready to go?
There's 32 of them.
All right, good evening, everybody. Calling order for the Mashpee Conservation Commission for Thursday, July 24th, 2025. We're meeting in the Wacoit Meeting Room, Mashpee Town Hall, 16 Great Neck Road North. We're broadcast live on local cable channels 8 and 1072, streamed live on Town of Mashpee website, and it's a hybrid remote meeting with the numbers to get into the hybrid remote meeting on the agenda. Okay, first item is Pledge of Allegiance. Go join me for that. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, I'll have a quick moment of silence. Great, thank you. All right. So, first order of business, I'd like to publicly thank Paul Colombo for his 3 years as chair, since it's my first meeting as chair, and all the good work he did, and all the hard work and guidance that he gave to us fellow commissioners and staff. So thank you very much, Paul.
Thank you.
For
Appreciate it.
good work done.
Been my pleasure.
Okay. All right, so first items, we're going to jump around a little bit. There's a bunch of continuances and COCs, so we'll jump into that first before we handle the pre and post hearing agenda. So, okay, so the first item to be continued is a notice of intent for 5 Deans Hollow Road, John and Beth Ann Lewis and Drolet. Proposed installation of innovative alternative IA septic system. Representatives Cape and Islands Engineering, with the DEP number is 433350. So this will be continued to August 7th. So I'm going to silence my phone so it doesn't bother everybody. So do we have a motion to continue this hearing to August 7th?
So moved.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
Okay,
Third?
all right, so we do a roll call vote. Paul?
Yes.
Sandy?
Yes.
Rich?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
And I vote yes, too. Yeah. Okay, I was thinking, I'm looking at Sean.
Sure.
Okay, all right, so that'll be continued. Okay. All right, the second notice of intent to be continued is 19 Uncle Henry's Road, Monica Miller. Proposed addition to existing garage, remove and rebuild deck, installation of innovative alternative IA septic system, and mitigation plantings. Representatives Cape and Islands Engineering, and DEP number 433351. All right, do we have a motion to continue this hearing?
So moved.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. Since we got a motion and a second, roll call vote. Paul?
Yes.
Sandy?
Yes.
Rich?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Okay. Next continuation, notice of intent filing is 157 Daniels Island Road, Frank and Christina Varinos. Proposed installation of access stairs, pier, ramp, and float. Representatives is Down Cape Engineering, Inc., DEP number 433348. And the reason for continuance is to August 21st. More time needed to address commission comments and conditions from the June 26th hearing. And I was remiss that the reasons we're continuing these, the first 2 hearings were the hearings weren't advertised in time. They didn't get in the paper. I think that was correct. So for the public, I forgot to mention that. So, okay. So do we have a motion to continue 157 Daniels Island Road to August 21st?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Okay, thank you. All right, roll call vote. Paul?
Before we have a roll call vote on that, did the applicant give a reason for the delay?
Yeah, they said they needed more time to address commission comments and conditions.
Okay. During that hearing, I was remiss in pointing out Regulation 39I. We had a brief discussion about that in
395?
Regulation 3,
Yeah.
Section 9, letter I. That regulation specifically calls out that the type of boat, the draft, the propulsion unit must be submitted with any new dock proposal. And we kind of danced around that.
I asked that question.
And
Yeah.
all we got for an answer was, they're not sure, they're going to buy a bigger boat, and it ranged somewhere from 25 to 30 or more. But that boat has to be specifically identified, because when we condition that, if we do, we would condition it for a particular vessel and the location on the dock where the vessel will be moored. And that's all in the regulatory language, so that's something that should get communicated over to the representative on that project, so we have that information.
We'll communicate that. Well, they're already aware.
Oh, they are aware of that? Okay,
It was brought up at the last meeting, so they are aware.
right.
They have to provide that information.
But we didn't get an answer, so, and I don't think
Yeah,
it...
it's part of what they're coming back with.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay. So we're back to roll call vote. Paul?
Yes.
Sandy?
Yes.
Rich?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Okay. Next, notice of intent, filing to be continued is 101 Papaneset Island Road, Lee and Ann Cornfield Wallace. Proposed installation of swimming pool and patio mitigation plantings. Representative is Wet Tech Land Design, Inc., DEP number 433353, to be continued to August 7th. Do we have any questions from members on this one?
I know we need a motion to continue, but there was email communication stating that this applicant had requested the stakes be removed in lieu of some spray paint. I don't know if this is the appropriate time to discuss that. But I believe it is on the commission as a whole to determine whether or not we grant that request. Is that correct?
Yeah, within the regulations, it does say to have staking, so they reached
Right.
out to ask if they could use spray paint or something of that nature to mark it on the lawn, or not in the lawn, but in the areas that work's being proposed or mitigation limit of
Sure.
work. So yes, it would be up to the commission to discuss that.
Okay. Is this the appropriate time? Or-
I would recommend holding off until the hearing.
Okay.
Not there tonight, so.
Okay.
But Drew, weren't they asking to do that immediately?
Yeah, today, I think.
It has to
They
be
are, I
staked
mean,
before
there's
the,
no way to communicate to the applicant this evening if the commission has a problem with it, so you have to wait until the next hearing. And if you want stakes back in, then they'll probably have to continue again to put stakes back in. We didn't want to say no, because just in the event that commissioners wanted to go out there and see it before the stakes were removed, or, after the stakes were removed, that they'd be able to see the work limit and the project staking and the resource areas. So it was just something that we allowed to happen, but if the commission feels that they want stakes back in, you can make that known to the applicant on August 7th.
Okay. Great, thank you.
Sure.
but they're gonna paint where the stakes are now, Drew? Is that the,
They
is the
have
plan?
already.
Okay, they have already, okay.
And it's environmentally friendly spray paint.
Okay, great, thank you.
Sure.
Okay, any other questions? If not, we'll take a roll call vote. Paul?
Yes.
Sandy?
Yes.
Rich?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Okay. Next item down the list is an RDA for 29 Timberlane Drive,
Point
Maureen.
of order, Mr. Chair. I'm so sorry. I don't think we had a motion on the floor.
Oh, do we have a- oh,
I don't think we had a motion on the floor.
I thought-
That continuance.
So let's back
I
up.
thought you did make a motion.
Not that one. I don't think.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So sorry.
Okay. All right, do we have a
Run that play again.
motion to continue 101 Pompanesett Island Road?
So moved.
Okay, do we have a second? Second, okay. Now we'll do a roll call vote.
Yes.
Paul? Sandy?
Yes.
Rich?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Thank you. All right. Next one is RDA 29 Timberlane Drive, Maureen Santos. Proposed maintenance of existing pier ramp float. Representatives Mike Canada to be continued to August 7th.
No, representative on that one would be the owner. Mike Canader is for 9 Tuspequin.
Okay, so that's just a typo on that one?
That's
All right, and then,
Chairman, I have a question regarding this one.
okay,
Because this talks about proposed maintenance, but the narrative talks about them wanting to permit an existing dock, to register a dock.
Oh, interesting.
So what is here and what is in the, what has been sent out are not syncing up. It looks like they are not asking for any maintenance, but just to permit an existing dock.
Yes.
So the term maintenance, Shauna, is pretty much just that. It's maintaining the existing dock. So in effect, it's really, there's no work being proposed. They aren't proposing to do anything to the dock. They're just proposing to maintain the existing dock in its existing condition.
Okay.
That's basically what that means.
Okay,
It's kind of, it's not maintenance as in proposed work. It's just maintain the dock as it is.
okay.
When we get these docks that come in like this, they're not on the record for the town. So, and they've been there pre-1979. So because of that, just to get them on the record, we have them apply like this
Okay.
for the town. It's not doing any work. It's just saying, I'm gonna.
The wording that's been used
Yeah.
historically for this type
Okay.
of scenario. Yeah,
okay. Thank you.
sure.
Okay, any other questions? No? Okay, do we have a motion to continue this hearing to August 7th?
Yes, so moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. To a roll call vote? Paul?
Yes.
Sandy?
Yes.
Rich?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Thank you. Okay, moving on. The next one is an RDA for 9 Tuspequin Road, Mario and Gina Recuperio. Proposed installation of sunroom over existing deck to be continued to August 7th. Okay. Any questions on this one? No? Okay, do we have a motion to accept the continuance to August 7th?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, thank you. All right, so motion and second, roll call vote. Paul?
Yes.
Sandy?
Yes.
Rich?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Okay. Next item for continuance is a notice of intent filing for 55 Redwood Circle, Edward and Rudite Pilpel. Proposed addition to existing dwelling, remove septic system, replace with Title V IA system, remove and rebuild retaining wall and mitigation plantings. Representative is BSS Design, Inc. Continued to August 7th, and DEP number is 433352. Have any questions on this one? No? Seeing none, do we have a motion to continue to August 7th?
So moved.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, with a motion and a second, thank you. And do a roll call vote. Paul?
Yes.
Sandy?
Yes.
Rich?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Okay. Next item to be continued is an RDA for 67 Whipplewell Circle, David Carr. Proposed septic system, upgrade to Title V IA system. Representatives Engineering Works, Inc., and it'll be continued to August 7th. Any questions on this one? No. Seeing none, do we have a motion to accept the continuance?
So moved.
Can we have a second?
Second.
Okay, thank you. The motion second, we'll do a roll call vote. Paul?
Yes.
Sandy?
Yes.
Rich?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Okay. Continuing on, we have 3 COCs. Next, the first one is 27 Sandollar Lane, Alex Pesselman, trustee. Request for certificate of compliance for order conditions 433144. Representative was Cape Anans Engineering and a past inspection. Do we have any questions on this COC?
I had a couple, if nobody else does, for the agents. My apologies, I didn't get to do a site visit here, but I just wanted to get some more information about the vegetated buffer strip being maintained and healthy as required in here. And I noticed also that the float exceeded our regulatory maximum of 200 square feet, so I just wanted to check in about that. I wasn't here for this one. It was quite a while ago. So just wanted to check in with you all for a little more detail on the inspection that it passed.
Yeah, so the buffer has been maintained and unchanged since prior to the application.
Great.
And the float size was authorized by the commission at that time. Is the float, the primary float that's associated with the pier and ramp is under 200 square feet. And then the additional jet ski float was a float that was requested by the applicant at the time because it had previously existed. This is a replacement of a previously existing pier ramp and float, and they had a jet ski float associated with that. It wasn't authorized prior to them coming before the commission with this application, but the commission approved the jet ski float.
I see. Okay, thank you. I saw a 16 by 16 foot float, which would be 256 square feet, right?
So it was previously approved.
Right, okay, just checking. Okay, thank you.
Any
Sounds
other
good.
questions? No? Okay, seeing none, do we have a motion to accept this COC?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second?
Thank you. The motion second. Roll call vote. Paul?
Yes.
Sandy?
Yes.
Rich?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Great. Thank you. Okay. Next COC is for 8 Taffrail Way. John Cullen requests certificate of compliance with order conditions 431621. Representative is Mary Owens Moan. It passed inspection. Any questions on the COC?
I had a couple. I feel like that kid in class today. I couldn't ascertain from the drawing what this actually was. And I was trying to read the order of conditions from 1997, which was really, really fascinating. But I just wanted to find out what the project is and what we're issuing a certificate of compliance for.
It's a small area of restored lawn
Okay.
on
Okay.
the roadside of the property.
Wonderful. And so will there be anything attached to the deed regarding the lawn or the vegetation? I mean, I'm assuming this is so the property can be sold, but, pertaining to our current regulations, or does this get grandfathered back into lawn maintenance regulations from 1997?
From 1997, yes.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Okay, any other questions on this one? Okay, seeing none. We have a motion to accept this COC.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second?
Okay, thank you. The motion is second. Do a roll call vote. Paul?
Yes.
Sandy?
Yes.
Rich?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Okay, and the last COC for approval is 30 Overland Road, George and Patricia Leach. Request for certificate of compliance for order conditions 432738. Representative is Cape Anans Engineering in this past inspection. All right, do we have any questions on 30 Overland Road?
Just one for the agents. Did you all see an as-built plan? The plan that was submitted here has proposed work and is dated 2014. Did you all see an as-built, or was there one required to be submitted for this?
I don't remember seeing it as built for this one. Drew, do you?
No as-built, but the footprint is the same as
Okay.
shown on the plan.
Okay, okay. Fair enough. Thank you.
Sure. Sure.
All right, any other questions? Okay, seeing none, do we have a motion to accept the COC at 30 Overland Road?
So moved.
All right, do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, with a motion and a second made, roll call vote. Paul?
Yes.
Sandy?
Yes.
Rich?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Great. Okay. Going back up the agenda, notice of intent, continuation for 45 Manitoba Road, Josephine Foster trustee, proposed addition of an existing deck, remove and rebuild deck and existing footprint in addition to backup dwelling. Representatives Flaherty Environmental Services, DEP number 433349. With that, I'm going to recuse myself because the clients at 45 Manitoba Road are my clients. So with that, I'll step out of the room and turn it over to Sarah.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you. Good evening. Since Commissioner Cook has already opened the hearing, I will just note that at this time, we usually turn things over to the applicant or representative for presentation of the plan revisions. However, I do want to note up front that the commission received email correspondence from Agent McManus that the revised plan was not submitted in time for the filing deadline, and so it's on the commission as a whole to determine whether or not we want to waive Regulation 2, I think it's 2B, that states that there has to be a minimum of 5 days between the submission of the revised plan and the scheduled hearing date. So at this time, I'm actually going to go to the commission for any thoughts or insights on how we move forward with this.
Madam Chair, may I?
Absolutely, you may.
I did take the time to go through the materials that were submitted, even though they were submitted late, and I found several missing items. So I'd like to bring that to the attention of the commission before they decide whether or not they want to waive this regulation and hear the presentation tonight. I saw no evidence of a waiver for Regulation 25C. I saw no evidence of the elevations requests from Commissioner Zolo on the map or in any of the narrative. There were a couple of other things. There was a change in the narrative of the proposed frost wall to sonotubes, but I assumed there would be a explanation of that this evening, but there was not a lot of information in the narrative about the construction methodology that I think, Madam Vice Chair, that you asked for. So with different things missing, I feel strongly that we should not waive Regulation 2B because of the short time that the commission may or may not have had a chance to look at it. I also wanted to get onto the property, but I was out of town most of today and did not have a chance to do that. So those are my feelings on it.
Thank you. Is there anything else, Commissioner Colombo? Anything else?
No, I'm all
Okay.
set, thank you.
Okay, anybody else?
No, I agree with Paul.
Okay, simple enough.
I mean, I guess I'd defer to staff, but if he can provide or say he's going to provide that information to staff, and they're comfortable with that, he's here. We hear his presentation.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I would just recommend that, if you do want to grant a waiver or if you want to decide on that you reach a consensus amongst all the commissioners.
Thank you. So for the commissioners, I think, Commissioner Pitt, Commissioner Larson, do you have any thoughts on this before we?
No, I'd agree with these guys. Would want to see it all before and have it up to snuff.
Certainly.
Yeah, it's a process question, right? It should be together.
Yep, it's a procedural issue. Sure. Well, thank you. After hearing from everyone, I will contribute that I agree. I think that the time was insufficient. I also agree that the plan revisions as submitted were insufficient. I'd like to see the waiver request. I'd like to see those elements in advance before we have the opportunity to speak more deeply about the project and adjudicate on the matter. So at this point, it sounds as though the majority of the commission would prefer not to waive the regulation pertaining to the filing timeline. And so I will hand the floor back to you, the representative for the applicant, about how you'd like to move forward.
I was ready tonight, but I can certainly have it continued to the next meeting if that pleases the commission.
Okay, wonderful. I think that that would be advantageous. And are there notes that we can provide about the missing elements that would be helpful to ensure they're included?
I took notes from the last meeting, and
Okay.
I thought I addressed them all, but if you feel I didn't, then I'll certainly go back over everything. But I understand that the filing of the revisions was not in the time frame that you require, so.
Correct. So what I'm hearing is a request for a continuance to the next
Please.
meeting? Absolutely. Do we have a motion to accept this request?
Yes, I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Paul. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Sandy. And we'll take a roll call vote. Paul?
Yes.
Sandy?
Yes.
Rich?
No?
And I vote yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you for
Motion
your time.
passes.
As the applicant, can I say, I thought it decided at 7 o'clock. As an applicant, can I step in here? Or is it too late? Because I thought it was a 7 o'clock meeting.
The meeting did start at 6:30, and we have just voted to continue the hearing.
Goodness. So I also was asking about a shed application.
No, we can talk about this after.
It's being delivered.
It's
custom.
Well, this,
The shed compliance is with the building department.
it's delayed.
Yeah.
Next meeting.
Oh, my God. I rushed from Buffalo, New York to be here so that we could get this accepted and move forward.
Understood.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
We're continuing to August 7th.
August 7th. Yes.
7th.
Okay. Just go get Steve.
Three, one.
Thanks, Steve.
All right, so looking at our list, that concludes the agenda part of it. So we go back to the pre and post hearing agenda. Any questions on anything before we do that?
I just have a kind of a process question, or maybe, so back to the comment, Sarah, you had on, we're asking for a certification of compliance from something from 1997. And to date, I haven't seen anything that's gone beyond 3 years in terms of compliances. And do we have, like, why did that take so long to get closed? And do we have an ongoing list of what's outstanding for certificates of compliance? And are we following up on when we're not seeing them come back in a time frame?
For an ongoing list, no. You could look it up if you looked it up by property on the Registry of Deeds, because they have to record their certificate of compliance with the Registry of Deeds. What happens is they get 3 years to complete all the work unless they file for an extension. So, and then there's no time frame on when they have to close it out. So what we have a lot is, like Sarah commented earlier, they could be selling the house. A lot of times if they're transferring property ownership or anything of that nature, the order of condition puts a lien on your house. So with that lien, a lot of people won't purchase it, you know, there's other issues with that, so they really can't sell the house as easy. So this is what happens, they, 20 years later, the work was finished in, who knows, 2001, 2000, whatever. And then 20 years later, they never close it out, they go to find out, so they do it now.
So the backstop is the legality of you can't get clear title to the property without closing it out. but we put these conditions in to help the resource area.
Those get carried over with the certificate of compliance.
But if they never come back, 5, 10, 15 years, how do we know that anybody did what we asked them to do to grant them the approval for?
Fair question.
Right. So there
It
is no way
seems
to
a-
really truly know as far as, whether the project was completed or not. There's nothing in the state act or our local bylaw that requires an applicant to file a COC by a certain date.
Okay.
But in every order of condition that we issue, the last condition listed is that upon completion of the project, the applicant must apply for a certificate of compliance. And you're correct about the title. It's not clear until that's done, so that's a pretty big incentive for people to get that done, particularly if they're selling or transferring the home. But also what we did several years ago in an attempt to try and address this issue, which we're seeing less and less of now, and this is the result of when we changed our bylaw that basically says if you're applying for a permit and you have open orders of conditions or anything that's not closed out previously with the commission, you can't file a new permit until you close out your existing permit. So that's the housekeeping measure that the commission back then had instituted in an attempt to try and address this discrepancy.
Thank you.
Sure.
Okay. All set?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's one of those things that I probably put on the list to do we want to figure out how to tighten that up a little bit, but
Hire bounty hunters, right?
Yeah.
Rangers.
Rangers.
That's a long time, yeah. Okay, great. All right. So when we jump into approval of draft minutes, so there's a bunch of them here. So the first one is from April 3rd, and voted on is Paul, myself, Sandy, Alex, Marjorie, Sarah, Rich, Shauna, and Neil. So do we have any changes, comments on the April 3rd meeting minutes? Nothing? Sandy, anything?
No.
No, you good? Okay.
On that one.
All right. So we don't have any comments, changes? Everybody's good with those meeting minutes? Okay. So we'll have a motion to accept those meeting minutes from April 3rd.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second?
Okay. Since we have a motion and a second, do roll call vote. Paul?
Yes.
Sandy?
Yes.
Rich?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
I vote yes, too. Okay. Next meeting minutes were from April 24th, and voted on as Paul, myself, Sandy, Alex, Marjorie, and Shauna. Okay, any comments on
Yeah,
those
I think
minutes?
we do,
Okay.
of course. Let me see. Sorry. Okay, it was for the NOI for 27 Sturgis Lane. There's just an E missing on Lane. I'm sorry, I don't need to bring all the nitty-gritty, but you asked. Yeah, and under the NOI for 14 Tulip Shell Way, under structure and footprint details, the third bullet should just read 3-bedroom house, not 3-bedroom house. Let's see, I think. Okay, and then for, under the COC for 0 Cooper Street, it's missing its DEP number. I don't know what that number is, but, and that's it.
Okay. So, Dan, we just vote on approval with the corrections to be
With
made?
the corrections, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'll reach out and take care of that tomorrow.
Okay. Any other Sandy, one of the meeting minutes, I don't know, was the April 24th or the May 8th, they had me down as instead of commissioner, they called me commission. And I didn't bring my copy with me. I forget which meeting minute this was. It was one of the two, I think.
Okay, I don't know if I got that. Oh, was it up at the top, you mean? Do you remember where that was on May 8th?
No, it just said in multiple places it called me commission instead of commissioner.
Okay.
So, yeah, I printed it out, but I forgot to bring it with me.
Do we want to vote on the April 24th first?
So, okay, so we'll have a motion to accept the April 24th meeting minutes with the changes noted.
I can't vote on this one.
Yeah. So it's Paul, myself, Sandy,
And Shawna?
and Shauna. So only four of us.
Mr. Chairman, I'll move that we accept those minutes with the edits and changes.
Okay, thank you, Paul. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. Paul made the motion, Sandy second. Roll call vote. Paul?
Yes.
Sandy?
Yes.
Shauna?
Yes?
And I vote yes, too. Thank you. Okay, next meeting minutes were from May 8th, and voted on this is Paul, myself, Sandy, Marjorie, Rich, Shauna, and Neil. All right, do we have any changes or comments on?
Yep,
Yes.
Okay.
you go first.
So, under the update, where we talked about the Pompanesett Beach Association meeting, the chair to attend as PBA residents wasn't Paul, it was me. I'm the PBA resident.
Okay. Sandy?
Okay. Under the approval for minutes for the February 20th, 2025 meeting, let's see. The vote was Mr. Cook, yes, Marjorie Clapper, yes, Paul Colombo, yes, but I was also there and voted yes, so my name's missing there.
Which hearing, which address
This
was
is for
that?
the approval of minutes for February 20th,
Right.
2025.
Oh, okay.
For the May 8th.
Yeah, the May 8th.
Yeah.
Okay.
And under the discussion item for the GHD soil bore test for Zero Evergreen Circle, under project overview and location, the first bullet, it should read CHD soil bore, B-O-R-E instead of board. And then Shauna got the Papaneset one. Let's see, wait a minute.
23 Cross Tree Way, it should be Pompanesett Creek, not Creek.
Right, yeah, it's coming to that. Under the NOI for 27 Sturgis Lane, the DEP number is missing. I have that number, it's 43-3319. And then Sean just mentioned Cross Street 3. Also for that Cross Tree Way, under proposed construction details, the last bullet, 1, 2, 3, 4, so it's a fourth bullet, it says exterior access steps relocation maintaining, but it's spelt wrong. So just need a spelling correction there for maintaining. And then same one, down under the motion. For the first bullet, it said place missing planting, it should be plant missing plantings.
It's in place. Yeah.
Yeah, instead of plate. For 19 and 21 Bowsprit Point, way down under Commission Concerns and Clarifications, the third bullet should read monitoring and maintenance discussed as recommendation rather than formal conditions, since instead of not development triggered mitigation, should be no development triggered mitigation. Maybe, no. Okay. Okay, for an NOI 117 Timberlane Drive, under the motion, no, sorry, it's under the remediation plans for, no, sorry, it's for the COC for 69 Shoestring Bay Road, sorry, I was ahead of myself. Under remediation plans, for the third bullet down, site visit plan with contractor coordinate planting installation in identifying bare areas. This just spelled wrong. And that's it.
Okay. Well, thank you.
So long.
Very thorough. Okay. All right, so we have a motion to accept the May 8th meeting minutes with the changes noted.
I'll move that, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you, Paul. Do we have a second? Rich, a second? Okay. With a motion and a second, we do roll call vote. Paul?
Yes.
Sandy?
Yes.
Rich?
Yes.
And I vote yes. So, okay, that passes. Okay, next draft minutes were the executive meeting minutes from May 22nd. Voted on this will be Paul, myself, Sarah, Alex, and Marjorie. So we only have 3. So does that constitute them?
That's a quorum.
That's a quorum. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure.
Okay, do we have any comments or changes on May 22nd executive meeting minutes?
Nope.
No.
Nothing? Okay. Sandy? You
I
good?
wasn't there, so I didn't read it.
Oh, that's right, you weren't there, Sarah. Okay. Sorry. Okay, so with 3 of us, have a motion to accept the executive meeting minutes for May 22nd.
I'll make that motion, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. Second?
Second?
Okay. Roll call vote. With the motion and second made is Paul?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Okay. Next is the May 22nd meeting minutes. Vote on this is Paul, myself, Alex, Marjorie, Rich, Shauna, and Neil. So, we're missing Alex. So we have 3 of us voting. Okay. Do we have any comments or changes on that May 22nd meeting minutes?
I do not.
Nothing? Good. Everybody's good? Okay. Do we have a motion to accept those meeting minutes from May 22nd?
So moved.
So moved. Okay.
Second.
Second. Thank you. With a motion made and a second, do a roll call vote. Paul?
Yes.
Rich?
Yes.
And I vote yes also, too. Thank you. And the last meeting minutes were from May 29th. Voted on this would be Paul, myself, Marjorie, Sarah, Rich, and Neil. Okay, do we have any comments or changes on May 29th?
I have none.
No? No, you good?
Looks good.
Okay, Rich, good? Okay, do we have a motion to accept the May 29th meeting minutes?
So moved.
Okay, thank you, Rich. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, thank you, Sarah. Okay, with a motion made and a second, the roll call vote is Paul?
Yes.
Okay, Rich?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
I vote yes, too. Thank you. Got a bunch of them out of the way. Okay, moving on under discussion, we have water quality issues initiative. Any questions, comments from members on the water quality?
Yeah, I'll say a few things. The Mashpee Wakeby annual meeting, the Pond Alliance Group, was last weekend. I did not attend the swimming component or the boating component, but I was at the annual meeting, and there was a lot of information given regarding the cluster IA system that's being proposed in that area. Jared Meter was there and Ashley Fisher. They did a wonderful job explaining the ins and outs of the whole system. And there was close to 60, maybe 70 people in attendance, and there was a lot of questions and a lot of good responses. There was also a select board member from the town of Sandwich that was there and was talking about the importance of the system in light of the fact that they're moving ahead with their proposed Village Green 40B housing project. So in all, it was really a good reinforcing day to see that many people that concerned about what's going on in that water body.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, it's quite impressive.
Okay. No, thanks. Thanks for that update. Yeah, because you said the water quality was pretty bad in the upper part of the lake.
It's been closed.
The Wakeby part was shut down completely, and there was an advisory for Mashpee, but that was lifted. There were 4 people that actually swam from the Attican Beach over to Camp Farley, which I believe is a little over a mile.
That's, yeah,
Yeah.
Wow.
that's a swim.
So, and they seemed to be fine at the meetings. I don't know how they might have felt the next day, but,
Oh, cool.
and I think, has it also been lifted now for Wakeby? I believe it has.
I'm not 100%.
I'm not sure.
Good. Thank you, Paul.
Yep.
Any other concerns, discussion?
I had something I just wanted to bump for all of the commissioners. We are all members of the Massachusetts Association for Conservation Commissioners, and they just sent out a bulletin about an act that is being proposed for which the public comment period is open until end of day next Tuesday. It's called the Mass Ready Act, and it does have some implications for conservation commissions, in particular how order of conditions and NOI filings are completed. There are going to be some changes also to the Wetlands Protection Act. So MACC sent an email with a great summary. They also provided a public testimony that's available for viewing in that email, but I just wanted to direct anybody who hasn't seen that email or read through it to check it out and consider taking some action as you feel so called to do, but it's a pretty big deal. So,
Okay,
I
thank
don't
you.
recall seeing that email. Do you have that email,
I
Sarah?
do, yep,
Could you forward that
absolutely.
to, probably,
I got it.
Yeah, I got it,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't recall seeing it. Just forward it
Can
to
I
me
forward
then.
it to you? Okay.
Thank you.
Sure.
Did
It
you
looks like
send it to me as well? I didn't get it.
Absolutely, yeah, it might be something that went to your spam folder. It looks like it's from like an email marketing something,
yeah.
you know, but I'll send it to you both, absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Did you say you got that? How did I miss that?
So next
The
item.
tiger shark off of Pompanesett Beach, too.
Yeah.
That-
Yes, they
So
did.
tiger shark and lion's manes, the warming, everything's coming from up south.
Okay, next item is the number platform for Mashpee Woodlands. We had a site visit out there
Yes.
with Dan and Paul and Sandy and myself and the number representatives. So.
Yeah.
Wanna-
So from that site visit, there was some discussion about regulation and permitting that the commission could discuss as well for this project if permitting is going to be needed. One of the questions that came up was NOI and any threshold. There is no threshold for an NOI, no threshold of disturbance or anything of that nature. It's really based on the commission's decision here on what they want to recommend or mandate for a permit filing for this project. So there is no threshold on this property. This is a river system, so the only threshold that could be met is 5,000 square feet of development. Keep in mind, that's for a whole lot. That will never be reached here at all. It's a 12 by 12 platform, but also keep in mind the property itself on the assessor's book is 70 acres or something like that, 60 acres. So it's a massive property. But that's the only threshold that would come up for any type of permitting or any type of regulation with this project. It can't exceed 5,000 square feet per the river protection for the Wetlands Protection Act. So I did go out with a tape measure and located the projected top of the coastal bank. It was right pretty much where we were standing. So that puts this, let me take it out of this view. That puts this stake here. You can see it on the picture right here. It puts it between 10 to 12 feet away from the top of the coastal bank in that section. And again, that's just the projected. That's not the exact delineation. That's just what I got from measuring the 4-to-1 ratio when I was on site. That's all. So yes, it is most definitely near the top of the coastal bank, the proposed work. So yeah.
Wow.
From there, I know RDAs were discussed, NOIs were discussed, administrative review was discussed as well. So the biggest concern on site from the commissioners seemed to be also the access getting down there. The path itself is supposed to be 4 feet wide right now. It's about 1.5 feet in some sections, I'd say. So check for ticks. That's for certain. So that was a concern as well because they did want to drive a truck down. It was stressed to them that any review of this would be recommended for a small UTV, a four-wheeler that could give permission, or I think at the end we were discussing like literally a John Deere lawnmower tractor because that could also pull load as well down to the section. So that was the discussion that happened on site. They did go out and they did stake it. If anyone was able to get out there to take a look. So they did stake it. They reduced it down to a 12 by 12 proposed deck size, mainly just to preserve as many trees as possible, or not to cut down any trees at all, basically is what it came down to. So that is where it is, and tonight's discussion is not a definitive answer. It was just to get the whole commission up to speed on what's going on, what is being discussed, what's being looked at, and they will come, I want to say it was the August 7th meeting or the August 21st. I can't remember off the top of my head. And then they would come for a presentation then and discussion then to get the full answer at that point. So with them, I do understand that they want this done. There is regulations in town and with the Wetlands Protection Act when it comes to coastal banks and riverfronts in particularly. So that absolutely is a concern when it comes to that. So, but again, it is the discretion of the commission on how you want to proceed with it. So as a whole.
Okay. All right, we'll start. Paul, do you have any questions or comments on this?
After the meeting, I mentioned to the chairman that I would go into 310 CMR and take a look at least on the state level, what we're dealing with. And if your measurements are correct, then we would fall under 310 CMR 10.022B. And that's activities within the buffer zone of a resource area. So, and that would be 75 feet according to the Mashpee, not the 50 according to the state. They do list minor activities, but none of those activities even come close to talking about a structure. So it's really not a minor activity, it's more than that. But it still comes down to the judgment of a commissioner, an individual commissioner, as to whether or not they feel that that activity is going to have an adverse effect on the resource area. So we as a commission would have to look at how much of an effect we feel that that construction, not only the construction, but the resulting attraction of people to that area would have on that resource area. And that would have to be a determination of a majority of the commissioners to say, there's too much of an adverse effect, therefore this is not an RDA, it has to be a full NOI. Or if a majority of the commissioners said, you know what, nah, I don't think there's any problem here, then it could go the other way. But that's what you would want to look at, 310 CMR 10.022B. And there are a couple of other sections in there that do refer to work in the buffer zone. 310 CMR 10.05 3A2, and 310 CMR 1005 3B2. And those were the three, the one I mentioned earlier, 310 CMR regulations that would govern whatever decision we want to make, which way we want to go. I did have an opportunity with Steve and you and Sandy to be out there. I don't know if other commissioners have got to that. As you pointed out, there's a high level of concern getting the materials in there. I mean, how are they going to get through that narrow strip with everything that has to go in? So I'm leaning towards a full NOI because we would want to condition this thing to make sure that we have complete control of the project from start to finish. But I'm only one.
Okay. Sandy, any questions, comments?
No.
No. Rich?
How far it is from the, I guess, the street to where the construction would take place?
Half mile, about, yeah.
It's in there quite a ways, yeah.
Yeah.
I share Paul's concern. I was biking in there. I live down that neck of the woods, if you will. But it gets really narrow. That would be my concern. They're not going to get even a John Deere tractor in there. I like the project. I don't think it's going to cause a lot more people to go in there. I was there Sunday, July 4th weekend, the 6th. It was me biking and one other runner on July 4th weekend. Wasn't a ton of traffic. I don't think this platform's going to cause a lot of traffic. I think it's a great asset. It would be nice, but I'm just concerned with how they're going to get it in there. So, my 2
Thanks.
cents on it.
Thanks, Dale. Shauna?
Yeah.
I think this is one that we just, I would say err on being conservative on what we put forward because it is so close to the resource area. And we'd never want to look like we were kind of, because it's a happy project, right, that we would say we're being more lenient on this project than a homeowner project or something like that. So given where it is against how close it is to the bank, I would probably go on a full NOI and run it through its paces.
Okay. Good. Sarah?
Yeah, thank you. I would agree. I think, an NOI would certainly be what I would recommend. I did have a couple of questions, though. Dan, I heard you say Coastal Bank. Is this Inland Bank?
No, this is a coastal bank.
This is a coastal bank.
So the FEMA flood
Okay.
zone here comes all the way up to pretty much almost to Quiniquisette. It touches 28 almost at the culvert.
Okay.
So the flood zone does, and
Okay.
anything with that flood zone is going to be a coastal area.
Okay, so that would be Regulation 16 for us, for local bylaws, in addition to the 310 CMR. I haven't had a chance to get out there yet with the kids as promised, but I did want to ask about the rest of the trail. I know when we heard a presentation on this, one of the attractive features was that it was going to be accessible for wheels or folks that are wheeling in there, but is the rest of the trail accessible? Is it flat? And I've heard,
No.
general ADA is like 36 inches wide so are we going to also make the rest of the trail accessible so that we can advertise this truly as an accessible trail, or?
We actually went in with a gentleman in a wheelchair.
Okay,
So the trail itself, and he was beyond amazing in how he handled it. I have
not
to
all
say that,
wheelchairs
yeah.
are the same, sure, and wheelchair users too.
But no, this area would not be, I don't want to say it wouldn't be ADA accessible. The trail itself is only going to be maintained at about 2 to 3 feet wide.
Okay.
Itself, but also when you go down to the trail, you have to physically go down the bank and then come back up it.
I see.
So
Okay.
that was, even the gentleman who was out with us, it was quite taxing for him to do that in the wheelchair. So it would be accessible for anyone who wants to go out there in their, whatever their ADU is, in that, and access it that way. But it would be a massive challenge.
It'd be tricky.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I would just want to make sure that we're communicating that also to the public, that we're not marketing, that we're, approving an accessible platform when it's difficult to get to, or folks might get
Yeah.
stuck and in
It's
trouble.
accessible once you're there. I will say that, so.
Well, we'll just get a jet to drop people. And then, is there an alternative location, maybe that's not
We did-
so close to the water?
We did speak about that, because farther down, there's that little swing-in parking area, and the trail is much wider.
Okay.
But they said all the view is, I haven't been down there, so I don't know, is of docks and boats, so they didn't think it was quite as serene as the,
Yeah, this,
Closer to the house.
Yeah.
this is the one section where the houses start to peter off because it's all town land,
Yeah.
and trustees land on both sides of
Right.
the river. So, yeah, I understand where they're coming from with that. In my opinion, there are other spots on this property. This is a massive property. Not all the spots, as I think you pointed out, Paul, that no pruning would be done. No vista pruning of that nature or anything. And so it is the area on the property that has the least amount of vegetation that's growing to
Right.
block a vista. But there would be no vista pruning or anything, so other locations in the property are wooded. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I would like to also just see how we're clearing the vegetation. If there's any habitat survey going to be done first, I don't know that that would be required with an RDA. It just looks like this really gorgeous, densely vegetated area that hasn't been disturbed in this way. So my vote would be for an NOI, just to be thorough in protecting the resource.
Well, some of my concerns, one is the, I'm glad they reduced it down to 12 by 12, but, we're going to need a set of plans. The building department's going to need a set of plans, because this is going to be a structure that's going to be used by the public, so it has to be safe.
Sure.
Has to be, stamped by a structural engineer, and has railings to meet all commercial building codes. Not a residential deck, it's a commercial deck, so that's a 42-inch high railing. So that's one of my concerns. The coastal bank you just mentioned. The trail widening was a major concern of mine that we talked about. And then one of my other concerns is like the plantings, it's heavily vegetated. Okay, how much of the plantings can be removed? And they're talking about infilling the trail going down to the river that was for people use for kayaks. Then how much of the access from the upper trail to get to this platform that's going to be removed also too. So there's multiple areas where plantings are going to be removed, and they said, well, we're going to put in plantings. So what are those plantings and how much is being removed? I'm glad they staked the location. That was on the list. Alternatives. I think you're right. There are better alternatives that have minimal impact to this location and about the vista pruning. So, yeah, I agree. I think, if they're going to go to this extent, I don't think an RDA is going to work, in my opinion, because it doesn't give us enough information, and it doesn't provide us to vote on any conditions for this and to regulate it, so.
Steve, I have a quick question for you.
Yeah.
And also for the applicant, so we can relay to them, what the commission is looking for specifically if they do decide to pursue a notice of intent for this project, which I agree with. You mentioned engineer stamp plan.
Yeah.
Because I know that, and I don't want to speak for NIMBA, but I know that, there are cost considerations, and an engineer stamp plan is a costly type of plan. So do you want both architectural and an engineer stamp plan showing full-blown surveys of coastal bank, riverfront setbacks, like the standard, survey plan that we see for regular development? Is that what you're looking for?
Yeah, because you would need a stamped building plan of the structure, because it's going to be public use on public property, and that meets the commercial building code requirements. So that's one set of building plans stamped by a structural engineer. Then, yeah, we should have a site plan stamp that shows the coastal bank and, the areas to be disturbed, plantings, all that info. So then, we have a full detail like any other project that's going to be in an NOI, so.
Yeah, no, understood. I just wanted to be clear in communicating with that, what the commission's looking for specifically to accompany a notice of intent. Other just quick comment on the trails. So trails should be maintained to a width of 4 feet. So if there was a trail section that was down to 1 foot, that means that Dan and I are going to go out there and widen that to 4 feet. That's really a safety concern for tick exposure. So any trails that are less than 4 feet, anywhere in our conservation lands are going to be widened to 4 feet. And that's not only for tip concerns, but also for two-way traffic of, pedestrians and non-motorized bike riders. It's a definite safety concern when a trail is that narrow. So we will be going in and maintaining that.
Yeah, it was tight in spots.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got lucky that day because it wasn't raining that much, but it rained heavy after.
Yeah,
Sure.
we just got back, yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, do we need to just,
Does anybody other than this commission need to weigh in on this structure going on town property?
So this is Conservation Commission deeded land, so it would be the commission first. As Steve was saying, if it got down to it, it would then have to go before buildings, because it's safety codes and all that, so. But it's, if it stops here, it stops here. If it goes here, then it progresses to other departments.
And do we understand any liability issues related to this? Somebody falls off and breaks an ankle or something
No
like that?
liability concerns. That's for all of Mashpee's conservation lands.
Okay.
We've checked with council
Okay,
on occasion, but a few times in the past, and the town is not liable. You assume your own liability
Okay.
when you go onto town-owned open space, no matter what.
great, thank you. So do we need to have a motion and a vote made on this, or we just go back to the,
This was just
or
a,
just
an
say this is what
idea.
we're looking for?
Yeah, and then Drew and I will reach out to them and let them know what was discussed tonight. We'll get their feedback and their response, and then we'll contact with the chair and the vice chair on
Okay.
how to go about, or if it's going about, or what the response is from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Sounds good, yeah, they should look at alternatives too. I think that's a good idea, that have minimal impact.
Yeah, and I just pulled up the map, so this is just a section of the map. The mouse cursor is on the location, so there is, and this is not all the trails. This is an older map, there is quite a bit more trails in here. But this, you can see on the property, it is very large. So on the east side of the Mashpee River is mostly trustees' land, and the whole west side is all town land. So there are other locations, is what I'm saying with that. So it is a larger property, which we will also convey to them as well.
Dan, is there anything over by the parking area that would be suitable?
Over at the parking area,
That's at the Chickadee Trail, right?
there's this one down here on Mashpee Neck. That's the, I would love to say it's the most populated one, but it's not. That one has some benches on all the ends of the trails there. So they have benches built in pretty much to the bank on some of them.
Okay.
And then the northern section, the Quiniquissa parking lot up here, which is much more busy consistently through the day. That has areas that could absolutely use picnic tables or anything of that nature. So, yeah.
but that's not quite as close to the river as where they are, right? I mean. you
Oh,
won't
no,
get-
that
you
is,
won't- you-
that overlooks the whole river. It's just, it's power
Okay.
lines. 'Cause it's all power lines there, so it does overlook the whole river. It's just, if you like ospreys, I recommend it. There is 3 families there with nesting babies. So it's very nice to watch them act in the river, but it is a power line section, so.
Yeah, because NEMBA representatives, they said that they like that spot because all you see is woods and the river, and there's
yeah.
nothing else there, so that's why they chose that spot.
Wouldn't it make more sense to come down that Fox Trail?
Right here.
Yeah. I know the upper, closer to Simon's Narrow, that trail's a lot wider, I think.
Yeah, the
Coming
northern
in
section
there.
trails they are wider.
Yeah.
They are.
I don't know what the lookout is right at that junction, but
I will definitely look into that and let them know. Yeah.
just for building, it's gonna be better access, I can think, coming in that trail.
Okay.
Shorter, too.
So for summation, we're gonna ask for a notice of intent filing with a building plan, a site plan, a planting plan, and if they have an alternative location.
Yeah.
Those 4 items, I believe. I think that's what we
I'd like
talked
to see
about.
wildlife habitat evaluation. Maybe that could be included in the project narrative.
Okay.
the wildlife habitat evaluation as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. You guys good? Yep. Okay. Great. Thank you. Next item is any updates on a bunch of things going on? Anything to talk about on updates?
So the Santua Pond, what's listed as John's Pond and Santua Pond milfoil. I did attend the meeting, I think it was the second meeting of the Mashpee Lakes and Ponds, newly formed Lakes and Ponds Committee, to put forth that the issue of the invasive species, the aquatic invasives on Santua, which is a combination of milfoil and fanwort. And there's also nuisance levels of Eladia, which is a native pondweed, but it's grown to such proportions where it's starting to become an impediment on recreational access. So canoeing and kayaking, it grows in very thick mats and has compromised that type of activity in many areas of the pond. So I just presented all of this information to the Lakes and Ponds Committee for their consideration. Inevitably, we're going to have to request funding to pay for any treatment. As you recall, the Commission recalls, you did approve an order of conditions for this treatment, and there are many options, to deal with those species. But inevitably, the cost is something we're going to have to submit a town meeting article for funding, much like we did for John's Pond, which was approved. So hopefully that will happen again. And just to give them the whole breakdown of what the situation is, what the consultants recommend, and so they're going to draft a letter of support for when we submit that article for funding. If all three species are to be, managed, two of which, hopefully will be eradicated, it's going to cost in excess of $107,000. That's based on an estimate and surveying from Wetland and Water Wetlands, which is the consultant that did the treatment for John's Pond. So all that information has been given to the Lakes and Ponds Committee, and depending on what deadlines we're looking at for future town meetings, we'll try to get an article together for funding of either the fall or spring town meetings.
Okay. Anything else, Drew?
No updates for 110 Papaneset Island Road. We have not received a response from the letter that you had all approved, and I sent out subsequent to your review to the homeowner and their attorney and their wetland consultant. So no news on that front, and today was the deadline to receive a response. So I'll follow up with our town council, and any discussion thereof should be held in executive session.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
Sure.
I got one more thing.
Okay.
And just to tackle what Sarah mentioned earlier about the Mass Readies Act, I highly recommend reading over the revisions, the proposed revisions on it, because they are changing, or proposing to change permitting and how that goes about without having to apply notice of intents or RDAs for certain regulated projects. So I do highly recommend reading through it because it is quite the change. So that is something that you might want to keep in mind if comment is wanted to be submitted. So just wanted to reiterate that.
Okay, thank you. One thing that I've been working with Drew and Dan on is I stopped by the construction site at 151 a couple weeks back, and at the Childs River, there was no erosion control, and a lot of sediment went into the river and everything. So Drew had mentioned that the DPW had gone out there a week or so ago and put in erosion control, so it looks a lot better. But Drew, when I went by there was still a lot of sediment in the Childs River.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, it's not DPW, it's Lawrence Lynch that DPW contracts out to that's doing this work. But it's through DPW, so I'll contact Catherine again and make sure, because I did mention that specifically when I sent out word to DPW to get through the contractor that not only was no erosion control put around that area of the culvert for the Childs River, but there was a substantial amount of sediment that had leached through, and I specifically said that needs to be cleaned out. So I will follow up on that again and make sure that gets taken care of.
All right, did you go out there and check it out, or?
Did who?
Did you go out and take a look at it?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I saw the sediment had not been cleaned up, so, that was just earlier today.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I went by there over the weekend, last weekend. And, yeah, the stream was flowing a little trickle, but still a lot of sediment there, so.
Yeah.
Okay. The next thing, so for the agenda for our next meeting on the 7th, so we have, how many do we have? We have quite a
Do
bit.
you really want to know?
So I make sure everybody be prepared, you know.
Bring a sandwich.
So we have 13 hearings the next time. We had 5 applications come in alone today. So, yeah.
So I know it's onerous, but do we want to start a half an hour earlier?
I don't think we can.
That we,
I don't
public,
think we can.
yeah, we cannot. Public hearing notices have already been sent out.
Meeting uses the same room,
Okay.
so I think we're stuck with 6:30.
Is it possible to hold it to 15 minutes a
Pizza?
hearing? I mean, I know they all go over, but with that many, I mean,
Yeah, absolutely.
absolutely,
Yep.
that's,
Have to run a tough.
We need
Yeah,
timekeeper.
we can move it.
We can figure that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can time it, yeah, because that's going to be a lot of hearings.
Yeah.
And
You
a
can
lot
get
of
to a
discussion.
point where,
Deja vu.
yeah, you can absolutely do that.
Okay.
yeah.
And those 5 that came in today would be the last 5?
I have
subject
marked
to
all the ones that have grace periods.
Okay.
I have, which is pretty much the whole next hearing. Because they, I mean, 11:50 was the last one that came in today. So they
11:50?
were on it, yeah, so.
Wow. Now, are those NOIs or RDAs?
NOIs.
NOIs, 5 NOIs on top of the,
1 RDA, 4 NOIs. Yeah,
okay,
so yeah.
okay. So, just,
So
okay.
eat before you come.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do, you know, if everybody can do the site visits and
Yes.
go through the plans and have their notes, you know, so we maybe just try to get through them as
Yes.
quick as possible. And
Site visits have
Succinctly.
bullets, and then we'll be right on top of the time, basically, is what we'll have to do.
Yep.
Great. All right.
Get through it.
Anybody have any other comments or anything else to discuss before we adjourn? Okay. If not, we have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All right, do we have a second?
second.
Okay, thank you, Rich. Thank you, Sarah. Okay, roll call vote. Paul?
Yes.
Andy?
Yes.
Rich?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
And I vote yes. We're adjourned. Thank you very much, everyone.